Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. Earlier this year, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott read the Republican electorate and thought it was ready for an African-American candidate with money, conservative values, and an optimistic look at the country's future. Sunday night, he told a Fox News audience that electorate was telling him, "Not now," and he has suspended his presidential campaign 2 months away from his all-in Iowa caucus effort. The 58-year-old Scott was polling at only about 6% here in his home state, while fellow South Carolinian Nikki Haley is making headway in the presidential race. He surprised his interviewer, former Congressman Trey Gowdy, also of South Carolina, of course, with that announcement. Investigators are working two very different shootings from last week. Beaufort County deputies trying to figure out who killed 19-year-old Keon Mervin early Thursday morning as she slept in her North Hilton Head Island home. Two others in her home were unharmed. Authorities believe she was targeted. It was not a random drive-by shooting, and they've asked businesses and homeowners along Highway 278, Gumtree Road, Wild Horse Road, and Squire Pope Road to check any street-facing cameras. 3 separate agencies now investigating the first officer-involved shooting in Beaufort County all year that killed 34-year-old Anthony Barnhill of Bluffton a week ago Saturday at the end of a chase through Bluffton. The state law enforcement division's taken over the primary shooting investigation, while Beaufort County has put the 2 officers who fired shots on administrative leave and will also pursue its pursuit and use of force policies. The Highway Patrol is investigating the crash that preceded the shooting when Barnhill crashed his car at the entrance to the farm subdivision on Buckwalter Parkway. Barnhill had evaded officers back in July when they tried to arrest him on an assault warrant. Feel anything different driving around Hilton Head Island since Halloween? The town trying to make that drive smoother and quicker with a traffic signal management system that uses real-time data to supposedly sync up the 25 signals along Highway 278, Palmetto Bay Road, and Pope Avenue. Might not optimize itself until the end of the month, might still need some human intervention to adjust the system, but the end goal is to reduce travel times and intersection delays while allowing for real-time adjustments due to wrecks or congestion. You ever had one of those cars or trucks pull up next to you with their front ends or rear ends really jacked up one way or the other? It's called the Carolina Squat. It is now illegal in the state, though offenders will receive only tickets for the first 6 months of the new law. A squat vehicle is defined as one with the front fender either 4 inches higher or lower than the rear fender. A Myrtle Beach child was killed a couple of years ago by a jacked up truck that the driver could not see the kid. Lawbreakers can be fined up to $300 and could have their driver's licenses suspended. North Carolina and Virginia, the other 2 states with similar laws. For more details on these stories and other Lowcountry news, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Sports coming up later on. In fact, a couple of different sports stories, including some groundbreaking work out at USCB. But first, let's talk weather. We are indeed into fall. Let's hear more about what we expect later in the week from Maria Soden.
Thanks, Bob. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we're going to see more fall weather this week with more rain and slightly lower temperatures. So taking a look at Tuesday, it's going to be cloudy with scattered showers in the evening. Hilton's going to have a high 65, a low of 52. Bluffton's going to have a high 65, a low of 50. And Beaufort's going to have a high 65 and a low of 50. The sunrise for Tuesday is going to be at 6:51 and sunset's going to be at 5:24. Looking at the beach tides, high tide's going to be at 9:30 a.m. and low tide's going to be at 4:56 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week, Wednesday, it's going to be cloudy and windy with scattered showers in the afternoon and going into the evening. Highs in the 60s, lows in the 50s. Then come Thursday, scattered showers in the morning and in the early afternoon, but should be clearing up by the evening. Highs in the 70s, lows in the upper 50s. And then come Friday, it's going to be cloudy with passing showers in the afternoon, but again, should be clearing up by the evening. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 60s. That's it for today. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria. When we come back, we'll have all that sports news coming up a little later on. But up next, we're going to talk about the Veterans Day Parade in Beaufort. A special one indeed, and it's coming up next.